Oh, a hobby, I would say is one of the most important things that somebody can get into for the simple fact as I feel we all need a task we can do that we can see the results of.
You're always stuck doing assignments and studying and you're burning yourself out. And then finding something like, for me, the piano, it livens you back up and finding a reason to continue.
Gives me a reason to get up every day.
Welcome to Lying Around, a monthly show here on the Southeastern channel. I'm your host, Jay Stafford.
And I'm your other host, Joliet Vincent. We're going to go around Southeastern's campus and talk to some students about their hobbies and interests outside of class.
So we're going to be talking to a few students today about their hobbies and interests. Now, just why are we doing that and what is this show even about? Well, it's because life isn't all just about work. Hear me out. This is a hot take. It's okay to have fun. Hobbies come in all shapes and sizes. Most people's hobbies are playing video games or hanging out with friends, and that's okay. That's all right. But on this show, we're doing a deep dive into Southeastern student body to figure out kind of weird, interesting, and most of all, unique hobbies that people like to do in their free time.
I'm here on Southeastern's campus, coming out of the fun little tunnel that we have over here, walking around trying to find some people with interesting hobbies to interview for this show. It's kind of hard to find people with interesting hobbies because, you gotta kind of judge them based off their appearance to see maybe if they have an interesting hobby. Like maybe they have interesting hair or are, holding a skateboard like this person over here. Hey, do you have a minute?
Yeah.
So we're talking to people about their hobbies. Do you have any interesting hobbies?
Skate.
That's super interesting. How long have you been skating?
May of this year.
That's really cool. Where do you like to skate?
Dreamland.
Is that a skate park around here?
Yeah.
Super interesting. Can we maybe go over there and watch you do some stuff?
The community, but also just learning tricks in general. Very morbid, but earlier this year I had a bad relapse. And so I picked it up specifically for self-harm reduction, and it serves its purpose well, so. Yes, absolutely. Good stress reliever, opens you up to more, opens you up to a more creative outlook. You tend to get a skater's eye, is what I like to call it. You tend to just find some spots and just let your imagination run wild with it. There's these. This is your standard skateboard. These are more for street skating, park skating. There's cruisers, which kind of have a similar shape to this. They kind of differ in the tails. They have more of a flat tail instead of a round tail. You have your longboards. Those are ones that kind of look like surfboards a little bit. Those are more for cruising though. Yeah. Okay, board setup is completely from Tomahawk shop in Monroe, Louisiana. Losing skateboards, deck, slime balls, wheels, Reds bearings, mob grip tape. I don't know where the trucks are from. Yeah, I feel like life would get pretty boring without one. So. Gives me a reason to get up every day.
Wow, the weather out here is absolutely terrible. Global warming, am I right? We're out here looking for some more people to have a chat with. Let's try and chat with this person over here. Hello, do you have any interesting hobbies?
I'm really into music, and I can play about 6 instruments.
That's really interesting. What instrument did you start on?
I started on cello, and I've played it for like 10 years now.
Do you gravitate towards string instruments or wind instruments?
I much prefer string because it helps me with singing better.
Interesting. So do you sing at the same time as playing the instruments? So when did you start playing?
I started when I was like 6 or 7, and I like really got into it when I was 8.
Interesting. Do you still play these instruments to this day?
I do. I still practice.
Interesting. Are you in the band program?
I'm not because I prefer just to do things solo.
Can we go see you in action?
Totally. Well, I really like just the creativity of it and the freeness, because if you create music, you can do a spin on it, and you can make every single piece of music. It can be written the same, but it can't be performed the same. You can always put a different spin on it or a different emotion into it, and it sounds different to me, at least. I mainly will use like piano or guitar because it's easiest to sing with, because it's easy to just like play idly or play idly while you sing and mainly focus on lyrics. But I also can play violin, cello, flute, piano, guitar, and there's a few others. I always forget them all. Ooh, harp. I love the harp, because that's the one instrument that is so hard to play, but I want to play it so bad.
Why can't you?
It's so hard. It's so difficult, and they're very expensive. Oddly enough, Beethoven. I listen to a lot of Beethoven, specifically Moonlight Sonata, because that is my all-time favorite song on the piano. It's so fun to play, and like the deep basses of it, it's so beautiful. At first, it's very easy to forget. It's very, very easy to forget, but once you do it so many times, you get it correct so many times, you can't forget it. It gets stuck there and ingrained there. I mean, it's important for anyone to be sane, because like you need to put your creativity or your extra feelings into something, especially college students. Like they suffer with depression because it's so rampant in college, because you're always stuck doing assignments and studying and you're burning yourself out. And then finding something like, for me, the piano, it livens you back up and finding a reason to continue.
All right, we are here in the Lion's Den, where it is so busy right now here at Southeastern, filming for the first episode, so let's go. Excuse me, stranger that we've never seen before. Do you have an interesting hobby?
I do have a very interesting hobby. Thank you. It's I like to paint Warhammer miniatures.
Oh, okay. I know those are very tiny and that takes a lot of precision. How many have you painted? How many do you have?
Oh, that is a hard number to answer. It is definitely more than 50, but less than 100, so I haven't gone that bad yet.
Okay. I know it's a very lucrative hobby that people have spent a lot of money on, including our cameraman right there. So how much, if you're comfortable with saying, how much money have you spent on this hobby?
So, I'm starting to count the hundreds. Maybe $600-700.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, as long as it brings you joy, that's what matters, right?
It does bring me joy.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. So I just got a good question from our cameraman. There are factions in this game apparently, and I don't know if it's a game or a board game or what. You tell me a little bit more about it.
Warhammer 40K is a tabletop war game with several factions. If you can think of what it is, we have Space Vikings, Space Mongolians, we got Space Egyptian Terminators. If you think of something, it's probably in the game.
So which one are you?
I play the faction of Chaos, and I worship Khorne, blood for the blood god.
That sounds awesome, dude.
Well, I in particular like to paint Warhammer miniatures. I got my setup right here and some examples of the works that I've done. Going in with this as a tabletop game, Warhammer is a strategic game where you set up different types of models. We have anything from animals to just guys in suits to even tanks. And you put your units where you want to put your units. Your opponent does the same on the opposite end, and you just move them around using tape measures and dice to see who's a better general. My favorite thing to do would easily be the painting. It's almost like a meditation of some sorts that just kind of helps me relax, forget about the day. I do enjoy the game aspect of it as well. It's not necessarily my favorite, but it's nice to do something with your toys after you finish painting them.
Right.
And the lore is just a little bit of icing on top. I would say Warhammer is a weird thing because it's not always easily able to find. Like, you can't just walk into a store and just be like, hey, I'm here to see the Warhammer people. A lot of it is scheduled. So you usually play with the same people consistently because they're the ones who are going to be setting these events up. And depending on where you live, sometimes it's just going to a guy's garage. So I won't say I play with different people constantly, but I have enough friends to keep it mildly fresh from time to time. I wouldn't say you have to be a pro to get into Warhammer, not at all. You don't have to, I mean, I'm pretty sure some of the dollar signs you guys see might be intimidating, but nobody's here to say you have to spend that much money. If your joy is painting, you can just buy like the smaller, cheaper models and just enjoy that painting. If you're into the idea of playing the game as a strategic war game, honestly, you don't even have to worry about painting it most of the time. You can just pull out the units and say, hey, this is what I want to do. So however you want to play the game, there is a way for you to make it work. You don't have to look at the big picture and be scared away, because some people are scared away by the lore. There's over 450 Warhammer books. So just because it's big doesn't mean you can't just swim in the shallow side. Oh, a hobby, I would say is one of the most important things that somebody can get into, for the simple fact as I feel we all need a task we can do that we can see the results of. Some people try to take pride in their job. Like, that's great, you can watch your bank account, but that's kind of nebulous on if you're doing good or bad. Some people, like, I can't even think of another example right now, but the most important part being is I can put in the time, effort, and resources to painting these guys, and at the end I can look and see the results of my hard work. You could take pride in a lot of nebulous things, but we all need something we can look and see, yes, I did that. I think everybody should have a hobby, absolutely.
Even the less creative people?
Even the less creative people, even more so, because that's where you're going to get to exercise those muscles. Creativity is a muscle, and if you never work on it, how can you expect to be better at it?
Well said. All right, that's all we have. Thank you so much. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was certainly a wild ride, full of unexpected responses from students just like you. If you want to be featured in next month's episode, just come up to us when we're lying around. Hasta la pasta!
See you next month. Thanks for watching. That wasn't your line. All right.